All right, for this unit, we're going to be looking at pen and ink techniques, and we're going to start with the most simple one, which is called hatching. You're going to notice a lot of things are exactly the same as if we did value scale and graphite. You'll see my technical pens are a little different than your ballpoint pen, so there's some things that you might want to think about when you hold it. I usually like to use a 5. It's about a middle range, and it kind of gives me a nice even line. But you'll see that the lines will create different values. You won't be able to use a tech pen from the side, so you do have to kind of get on top, and you're just going to be creating single lines, which is called hatching. You'll probably see my hand blocking some of the view, but hatching is simply lines that have either a lot of space between or very little, and you can see that the value changes as you put them closer together. So in the 0, it's just like before, we're going to leave it blank. When you get to the 1, you can leave your lines fairly open with lots of space in between. When you get to the 2, you begin to put your spaces a little closer. 3, they get closer. Now this value scale has to be created without crossing the lines. That's the difference between hatching and cross hatching. 4, I'm getting closer. 5, I'm getting even closer. Leaving enough space that it just still can see through, not overlapping the lines, and not over crisscrossing. 6 is going to be pretty tight. I'm not going to see much difference. What I'd have to do is start to crisscross them, but not crossing the direction, maybe starting to overlap them just slightly. 7 is going to be real close with very little space between. And 8, very, very close. As close as I can get it without crisscrossing or touching too many times. And my 9 is pretty much, they're touching, okay? They're going to have to be right on top of each other and blocking out the paper, but we're not going to cross in another direction. You're going to keep your lines going exactly the same direction. And I'm going to let them look like I've almost shaded it all the way out. Now hatching is used in all kinds of ways to create all kinds of surfaces, and you can really get some interesting values. The main thing that you don't want to do is start crisscrossing. You do not have to have the hatching going vertically. It could be horizontal, it could be diagonal, it can be almost any direction. The main thing you can't do is crisscross them. You can overlap. You'll see me come in and start to tighten up. It's okay if they overlap slightly. That can fill in my value scale. So you're going to spend your first few minutes in your sketchbook creating a value scale of a very open towards a very dark area. Okay, remember, the only thing you can change is the distance between